Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. Once I got to 3 months, I have to go every 8 weeks because I'm one of those people who can't give 500 like you guys do. I only give 300, maybe 350, because if not, I pass out. The only problems I deal with now is, and I don't really find it a problem, is sometimes I'm very tired. I just can't seem to wake up. And when it gets closer to having phlebotomies, that's when I get the pressure in the head again. And that's just it. I have polycythemia and life goes on.
Life goes on. Okay, so I know we had talked yesterday a little bit about how you're coping, and then I asked you about how the family uh, copes with it. Uh, I want you to repeat to me now what you said last night because I thought that was kind of interesting. Your situation is it's a little bit unique, I think, from most. I mean, it's true that other people might have other stuff going on besides the PV, but I thought your answer yesterday was kind of interesting. So I want you to share with that with us.
Are you talking about the part when I said I was in the hospital having the phlebotomy and the gentleman was wheeled in?
Well, no, but we could talk about that too because that might, shake some people out of their "woe is me" attitude. But I'm talking about where you
The
was just
PTSD?
talking about the other illness that you're dealing with, and I know you were basically saying that it's not the PV that your family struggles with, or it's not the
Oh.
PV that they deal with.
Um, yeah. I have two grown children, and I also have three grandchildren and a husband. And they do. They take very, very good care of me. But what they seem to look after me more with is I have PTSD. And
And for those who don't know, what is that? Because some people might not know.
it's post-traumatic stress syndrome.
Okay.
And what that is if something traumatic has happened to some people, I don't know how other people deal with it. I know a lot of policemen, ambulance drivers, men and women who've gone to war, they all have it, and I can understand why they have it. For me, I have an issue understanding why. Um, a few years back when I was still working, I was involved in an armed robbery.
Mm.
I was held 20 minutes at gunpoint and I was beat up a little bit. And then I had to go to, they stole my identity, so they knew where I lived and all that. I had to go to trial. I identified one of them, and all their families were there. They were put away, and I did go back to work. I went to work for 2 years, and I was driving to work on the QEW one day, and I passed out. That was the start of me with the PTSD. I had no idea. And again, I think it's just so odd for that little thing that happened that I wound up having it, and yet the people who go to war and stuff and see things that are unbelievable, yeah, that's to me what PTSD is. But in my case, I can't go out. I have a real fear of being out. I don't go to a bank anymore, never. I don't. I do a drive-through Tim Hortons. If we go out for dinner, I make sure I sit so I can see the door. My family, like I'm going to the Blue Jays game next week with Rob, my husband, and he said to me, he goes, "Okay, Michelle, we're taking the GO train and we're going to be sitting in the stands." He goes, "Are we going to be able to stay past the third inning?" Because they know if all of a sudden I'll just flee, and that's a terrible way to live.
Yeah.
I'll take PV any day over that.
That's amazing. That is truly amazing because a lot of us, you know, uh, we struggle with this PV, and as I mentioned a moment ago, sometimes there is this "woe is me" attitude. And listen, PV is an insidious disease, uh, but I think we can both agree that things could be much worse than
Oh,
they are, and it doesn't have to be really this good.